going on here?
Spartans! What is your profession?
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
It's time!
New Day with SSJ is presented by Walker Medical Linen Services, locally owned and operated, and HLAC certified to the highest standards. Walker has partnerships with hospitals, surgery centers, and medical clinics in and around the metro area. Walker Medical Linen Services in Kansas City and online at walkermls.com.
Chiefs.
I mean, the first goal is to make the team. You know, I know special teams is going to be massive for me. Been working really hard on that with Coach Tobes and Coach Hill, and just learning the playbook. As I said, learning the running back roles, being able to learn pass protection, and then learning my routes off that. I think, you know, all of it adds up, and the main way I'm going to make this team is by learning pass protection and be able to be a key role on special teams.
You know, in college, I feel like I got overlooked a lot with some of these guys who, you know, didn't want to really get their hands dirty or anything like that. So, you know, I've really kind of tried to pride myself on being that complete tight end who, you know, if it's 3rd and 1 or if it's, you know, 3rd and 10, I'm not coming out of the game. So, you know, just kind of proving to myself and proving to everybody else that I can do that at this level. I mean, that's what I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah, I think not even just the draft picks, the entire offensive line room that's here is very cohesive, and we all have great relationships with each other. And so it's not really one person leaning on another, it's everybody leaning on each other. And I think it's the room and the culture that has been built here in the offensive line room is extremely good.
I'm getting Friday out my mind, yeah! Gonna have fun in the city.
It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what? It's Friday then!
Good morning, Kansas City. This is New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. It's Friday, July 19th, 2024. Stephen St. John, along with Jake Gutierrez. Today on the show, we'll have Stan Weber in studio. We're going to get Pete Sweeney with a training camp reporter call in around 7:30 and talk to Stan and I. And then Jeff Penner will give us the weekend forecast. I'll also have him take a peek at next week for the week I'll be up at training camp up in St. Joseph, Missouri. We'll talk to former Royals catcher Mike McFarland about the restart of the Royals season tonight at home against the Chicago White Sox. And then Tim Grunhard. Hey, back on the phone for Timmy. So what happened now?
I stopped asking questions.
Yeah.
I just, you know, said, hey, buddy, you good for tomorrow? And he said, yep, I'll be on the phone. I said, okay.
There it is.
All right. Okay.
There it is.
He's a man of the world.
Yeah, that's right. Well,
I'll be on the telephone at 9 a.m.
we have training camp going on. So we got some football. And we have baseball starting back up tonight. So the All-Star break is finally over. That seemed like a long time. I don't know. It seemed like the home run derby was forever ago. I'll tell you this. This week has flown by. But Monday seems like a month ago to me. I don't know what to tell you.
Time's a flat circle.
I'm good with it. You want to do a live taste test on the air right now?
Sure.
So
what you got?
We were at track practice with Hot Feet Track Club.
Hot Feet.
We were at Piper High School last night doing long jump workouts. I wasn't. I was watching Julia.
That'd be weird if you
It
were.
would be really weird if I was practicing the long jump.
Well,
It
hey.
wouldn't be much of a practice. I'm there for words of encouragement. No, we have a deal. There will be no sitting in the car, sitting in the bleachers. All I can do is I'm allowed to do my laps when we get there a little bit early. And so I get my mile and a half walk in or whatever, just a good walk, get the sweat going before practice. And then I'm with her on the track, and then I'm over there in the pit. She goes, if I'm going to be down here, you're going to be down here, buddy. I said, well, all right then. Done deal. And so we went to get a drink afterwards, and I couldn't find any Diet Dr. Pepper, and I was getting irritated. It's a popular drink, you know. And so then I remember our friend Jesse Newell say, you know what? Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar is a game changer. But then I had it one time, like, there's something about Diet Dr. Pepper I like. So then I saw, this caught my eye, Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar Creamy Coconut. And I'm a fan of coconut.
I'm just gonna sit here and observe.
I'm a fan of coconut.
Yeah, I like.
So here's the deal.
I put coconut oil in my coffee
I like Diet Dr. Pepper.
every morning.
I like coconut. Shouldn't I like Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar Creamy Coconut?
In theory, yes. but
Right.
Not always two things that you like mix.
Let's find out.
Like I said, I put coconut oil in my coffee.
I can smell the coconut.
Be drinking that water.
I am drinking the water here, but this could be a game changer for me. This could add a little element of something. Ooh. Oh, that's more than a hint of coconut.
A lot of coconut in your Dr. Pepper?
That's a strong dose of coconut.
Well, I mean, coconut's a pretty strong flavor. I don't know how you can just do a little coconut. And?
I like it.
You're a Dr. Pepper sommelier. What do you call it?
So there's a clearly sweeter aftertaste than the Diet Dr. Pepper. The Diet Dr. Pepper, the way I like it is it has very sharp. It's very sharp. This I will say is a good breakfast Dr. Pepper.
That's just ridiculous.
It's
a good
good
morning
morning
soda.
Yeah, I mean this is.
There's no such thing. To each their own.
You could have a donut with this.
Huh.
You could have a croissant with this. You know, this if you have a little bit of a sweet tooth and you don't want to add the calories, maybe this will give you. I don't know. You know those little donuts with little gems, with little coconut flakes on them.
Oh, I know them.
There's a little bit of that to this.
Have yourself a snowball.
All right, then. Put it in the rotation.
Whatever you say, boss.
You know, here's the deal.
You're going to let me know.
Life is short. And there's things that make me happy, and that's one of them. And do I drink as much as I used to on this Diet Dr. Pepper? No, I don't.
Well, that's good.
But will I give it up totally? No, I won't. You know? Just like, are tacos good for me? No. Will I stop eating them? No. Pizza's bad for me. I'm not going to stop that either.
Well,
in moderation.
There's levels to it.
There's levels to all this.
You can find good, healthy tacos.
Yeah, but I don't want them. what good is that? It's
not
ridiculous.
healthy, but they're less. I'd say there's having a taco's better
fine.
for you than
it just depends on where the taco's from
well,
and how much grease is in it.
I don't know. My thoughts on soda is pretty.
There's some tacos out there that I can tell you right now. I eat one of them and then it's right to the bathroom.
Well,
so I know that ain't good for me.
Sometimes
and the amount of grease that's in them. So I just ate it.
Hey.
It just there's levels to everything.
Yeah.
It just depends. Oh, that gets my day started right. I had a big chug of water.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
What am I drinking now?
Wash it down with some hydrogen water. Some clean 9.5 pH hydrogen water. There you go. There you go.
Mushroom coffee.
There you go.
There's all kinds of stuff going on inside my body right
You got some beverages.
And then look what else we got.
You got your ginger shot.
I'm not gonna do that right now.
No,
That's too much.
That's for like 8 o'clock.
That'd be an overload of the senses. Yeah. When I start to hit a wall,
A little pick me up.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
A little snort.
I'm not gonna snort it,
No,
but I will take a snort of it.
that's what they say,
okay. Oh yeah, I know, but
My dad used to say that. It's weird.
God, what if we did snort that? Oh my God.
No thanks.
That would be something.
Cayenne right past the brain barrier.
Well, so I'll be gone for a week. Do we have everything figured out for next week?
Oh no,
the combination of Todd Lebo and Nate Bukaty. Do we know if
you
Nate's going to be here? Does Nate have any idea?
Allegedly.
Rest in peace, Bob Newhart, actor and comedian, passes away at the age of 94. Did you ever watch any Bob Newhart when you were a young man, a youngster?
Yeah, the Bob Newhart show.
Well, there's a few of them.
I watched the one where he took care of the cabin or had a bed and breakfast or whatever.
Right.
With the brothers.
See, I'm older. I go back further than that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really watch the other Bob Newhart. I mean, Elf. I was a big fan of his work in Elf.
Right. A lot of people love him from Elf. You're right. See, the Bob Newhart show, you did not watch that because that was from 72 to 78 when he was Bob Hartley.
No, I didn't watch
And his
that.
wife, played by Suzanne Plachette. That was a great show. And that I remember that vividly from my childhood. You're talking about Newhart.
Yeah, just Newhart.
It was on from 82 to 90.
With the Larrys.
Right. You liked that, didn't you?
I did.
Boy, that made you laugh, didn't it?
Oh, I used to laugh at that.
Boy, did you like that. So.
I'm Larry. This is my brother Larry. This is my other brother Daryl.
Yeah.
I
always wondered who thought that was funny. There he is.
This guy. I mean, I was a pretty young kid.
Right. Well, you liked it.
This is when was that on? Early 90s, late 80s?
82 to 90.
Yeah. That was right in my wheelhouse of a 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old boy.
Right. So a comedic genius. And did a lot of funny things with Don Rickles. So yeah, go back and look through his career. But that was sad. Bob Newhart. Hilarious.
94 years old.
94 years old.
It's a great run.
Are we having a great run right now? Hopefully.
Yeah. Coming off a great show yesterday. Going to have a great show today.
I did that. That felt great about the show yesterday.
Yeah, it was a good show.
If you want to go back and listen to any of those interviews, including we had a good interview with Buster Olney. I thought, by the way, thank you to Blair Kirchhoff, who said some very nice things when he was on the program with Todd Lebo yesterday about listening to the Eli Drinkwitz interview. I think he said, you know what, I listened to that interview with Steven and it didn't suck for once. Something like that, or maybe he said it was good. I don't know. Whatever it was complimentary.
Well, it didn't suck. That's a compliment.
Mm-hmm. We had some, so now they're getting down to it. We went through the marquee rookies as they spoke to the media. now, but they're still interesting, right? The guys they're talking to up at training camp.
Oh, I think so.
Louis Rees-Zammit, who my daughter's very interested in knowing if he's going to make the team or not. She likes to hear him talk.
I mean, I think that's one of the fascinating stories because of the implications it'll have on the impact of the rest of the roster.
Hunter Nourzad, who is going to be relied upon to add depth to the offensive line. And Jared Wiley, who a lot of people have high hopes for as an added weapon in that tight end room for the Chiefs. So let's start there. That's the guy that I think most people are excited about just because he can catch the football and learn under Travis Kelce and score touchdowns, hopefully. Here Wiley was asked what his the biggest adjustment is to the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say learning a new offense again. Expectations are obviously super high here, so that's another thing. I wake up every morning and I'm like, you can't have a bad day here because everybody else is going to have a great day. So, I just try to be the best version of me and do whatever I can to help out these guys. That's kind of what I'm doing every day.
I bet you like that. Can't have a bad day here because everyone else can have a great day.
Right? I do love that.
Sounds like something you'd say.
I was cutting that up this morning. I was like, that's the right philosophy.
Wiley also talks about the skills that he prides himself on.
In college, I feel like I got overlooked a lot with some of these guys who, didn't want to really get their hands dirty or anything like that. So, I've really kind of tried to pride myself on being that complete tight end who, if it's 3rd and 1 or if it's, 3rd and 10, I'm not coming out of the game. So, just kind of proving to myself and proving to everybody else that I can do that at this level. I mean, that's what I'm looking forward to the most.
And let me tell you, if you're a tight end, you get drafted on this team, you better take advantage of the golden opportunity to learn from the best that there is and the best there ever was.
The best there ever will be.
And the best there ever will be. The hitman, Bret Hart, and also Travis Kelce. So here, Wiley was asked what he's learning from Killer Trav.
Yeah, you can pick up a lot. Just his knowledge of the game, whether it's of our offense, obviously he's been in it for a while, or just knowing what the defense is going to do and how he can kind of manipulate his routes or, change what he's doing to make them think that he's doing something else. That'd be the biggest thing that I'd say that I've looked at so far.
And so he gets the headlines from this group because he's the guy most likely to go out there and make an impact this year. Now, Hunter Nourzad was drafted in the 5th round, number 159 overall, out of Penn State. And look, the Chiefs were very, very lucky to have a backup offensive lineman the level of Nick Allegretti the past couple of years. And Nick Allegretti stepped in when Joe Thuney went out and played at a very high level. And he parlayed that into a nice contract and a starting spot someplace else. That's a luxury to have that good of an offensive lineman, a starting caliber offensive lineman on your bench. And so that's why the drafting of Hunter Nourzad and C.J. Hansen is of some importance, because we need to see if they're going to be able to replace Allegretti with both of them, with one of them, with somebody else. That's that security blanket. The Chiefs' starting offensive line is very good, but very rarely do you see 5 linemen stay healthy the entire year. And so here Hunter Nourzad was asked about the offensive line room he's a part of now.
Yeah, I think not even just the draft picks. The entire offensive line room that's here is very cohesive, and we all have great relationships with each other. And so it's not really one person leaning on another. It's everybody leaning on each other. And I think it's the room and the culture that has been built here in the offensive line room is extremely good.
You talked about the culture in the O-line room. It's really good. What leads you to say that? What reasons do you have for that?
Just the way the vets have been extremely helpful in everything since the rookies have gotten here during OTAs, not just football stuff, but personal stuff, stuff about Kansas City, including us and stuff they do when it comes to charities and stuff like that. And so everybody, all the older vets have just been such a such a great resource for all of us.
Give us a specific example of that?
Yeah, I mean, we've been to, I think, 3 charity events that were led by one of the vets, and they included the rookies and stuff. They have, like, if I have questions about where to live, for example, in Kansas City or stuff like that, everybody's super helpful to answer. And then obviously if I have a question about scheme or a question about a play, you know, one of the older guys is going to immediately help me and make sure that I know what's going on.
Here's a couple of more from Nourzad before we break. Here he was asked about learning from Creed Humphrey.
He has so much to give when it comes to knowledge and scheme and also technique in his play. I mean, you watch him play, and he is an extremely, extremely talented center. So I'm gonna do my best to try to get every ounce of knowledge out of him.
He was also asked, where is he going to line up?
I'm working everywhere, so I'm not a specific position person. I'm gonna do anything they want me to. If they want me to go get water, I'll do that. So I'll do whatever they need me to do.
We'll hear a little bit more from Nourzad later, and also Louis Rees-Zammit as the show goes on. We'll also talk about the Royals back in action tonight to start the second half of the season against the Chicago White Sox. Michael Wacha is on the mound tonight.
How about those Royals?
The Royals start I know it's past the second half when you look at actually number of games, but we consider it as the second half because of the All-Star game, so please, I get it. But the Royals start the second half now 52-45, while the White Sox come into Kauffman Stadium 27-71. Beat them.
Waka waka.
Don't be messing around now. This is your opportunity. You got to take advantage of the opportunity to play one of the worst teams in baseball several times over the next couple of weeks. Take care of business. They didn't do it on the road against Oakland. They didn't do it on the road against Colorado. This is different. This is home. They're better at home. The White Sox are god-awful. They're trying to figure out who they're going to trade. Maybe they can figure out that Tommy Pham should be in Kansas City and just leave him here when they leave town.
Yes.
Just do that. Do something like that. So tonight, 7:10 first pitch. Wacha versus Flexen. Royals versus White Sox.
Yeah, how about that? The boys are playing some ball, huh?
Hunter Harvey in the bullpen. Let's get it started. Let's get this chase for a playoff spot started the right way. Win the series. I won't say sweep. It's hard to sweep. But you know what? Sweep. The White Sox are done. They're thinking about vacation. It's over. It's over for them. All right? Keep a bad team losing. Michael Wacha pitch well. Michael Wacha will go tonight. Brady Singer will go tomorrow night. And then on Sunday, Seth Lugo. So every pitching matchup is heavily in favor of the Royals. The Royals are a much better team than the White Sox. No excuses now. You went out and fortified the bullpen. You're rested. You're ready. You had a good All-Star break. Bobby Witt Jr. put on a show. The American League won. You traded for Hunter Harvey. You're making things happen. I know MJ Melendez is on the IL. That sucks. But Drew Waters comes back up with another chance to prove himself. Do it. Get it done. Stan Weber will be here in a little bit. Again, Stan Weber, Pete Sweeney, Jeff Penner, Mike McFarland, Tim Grunhard, and you right here on New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHP. Welcome back to New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. You know, I mentioned I was at track practice last night with my daughter Julia, and a very nice gentleman came up and talked to me and said he liked listening to the show, and I thanked him, and then I gave him $10 for saying that, and then we talked for a while. And we just made the point. We, shared the point that, man, what a great time to be a sports fan. And I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know, but like right now, like I told him, yeah, we're going up to training camp on Saturday. And then he said, yeah, I heard the Eli Drinkwitz interview. You got to be excited about Mizzou football. I said, yeah. And he goes, Kansas and Kansas State look like they're going to be really good. I said, yeah. And the Royals start back up tomorrow. And what do you think of that trade? I said, I like that trade. I know they gave up a lot, but I like it. They got a real chance to go chase down a playoff spot. And I said, it's just one of those things where I stop and I just kind of think about it. It's just not that often in my life of doing this where just everything's firing on all cylinders, right? Like all the arrows are pointing up. And so if you can't get fired up and excited about hosting a sports talk show or being a sports fan right now in Kansas City, I don't know what you're waiting for. And even you mentioned in the commercial break, sprinkle in some Olympics. I know the Olympics aren't for everyone, but Patrick Mahomes took a TV up to camp to watch the Olympics and also to play NCAA college football, and I get it. I'll throw that in there too as a sports fan. And so it's just, there's so much to be excited about right now, Stan.
And it's Friday.
That's right.
All these things, and you're ready for another weekend, getting closer to the NFL season and college football, all that's going on. Royals are finally back. It was the quietest week in sports for a few days there. But now the Royals are back, going to the Royals game tonight. The weather, starting yesterday and now into today, to me, I know this sounds predictable, seems like football weather, is not burning hot summer. It's got that feel of regular season football, early season, where it's a little bit warm. It's not the fall, but it's football season, so it just feels right. Royals play tonight. Hey, the British Open's the biggest sporting event for me this weekend. And for you guys who are up early in the morning, what a great sporting event it is, because they get going and for Thursday and Friday, they start maybe 4 in the morning with U.S. television Central Time, and they'll play all the way through 1 or 2 o'clock.
And Stan, just another thing for Jake to gamble on also.
This would be a heck of a gamble because the course looks like it's hard enough to make these guys really play, but not outrageous. And there's tons of people who might win this thing. So it's the last major for them, but they all are going to go to the Olympics and line it up one more time, just like Wimbledon was a big deal last week, I thought. And they're going to line it up again and try to win an Olympic gold. And even though the majors in golf and tennis are bigger, I think, than the Olympics, because they only happen once every 4 years, these guys kind of get excited about it. And so to see them here in the last major, I think the British Open should be very good this weekend. And if you like racing, the Indianapolis 500 site, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, is going to be the host for the Brickyard 400, where the NASCAR guys go back and race over there. So, just dabble into some decent sports this weekend, but man, it's going to kick off here soon, where you get into full flush. Here we go, NFL preseason and everything that's going on with the Olympics overlying that, U.S. Open tennis. So, yeah, I'm glad this week is over, because Home Run Derby and the All-Star Game, that was fine. But, boy, Wednesday, is that the worst sports day of the year?
Yeah, it was. Well, at least we had the All-Star Game to talk about, like in the morning, but like as it went on, then that was it. But then the Chiefs had reported to camp, so there was at least a little bit.
A little bit for you.
Yeah. For
but
me,
I mean, from a sports fan,
yeah.
Wednesday is about
day of the year.
Yeah, there's not much,
So I'm glad to see the Royals back tonight. Excited to go out to the stadium and watch the game tonight and get it kicked off here to see if the Royals can battle and make the wild card.
Watch Jake's face when I read this. Speaking of the Olympics, the Paris Olympics Organizing Committee said on Friday the impact of a global cyber outage on its operations was limited and ticket sales were unaffected. However, accreditation, and uniform deliveries have been affected 1 week ahead of the games. The global tech outage that appeared to be related to issues at global cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike and Microsoft was affecting operations in many sectors on Friday, including airports, airlines, media, and banks. Jake, your thoughts on the global tech outage?
That's a big deal. I mean, it happened at like 1 a.m. this morning.
Even television stations are being affected, supposedly, around the world.
Some airlines.
Is Delta has
a
bunch of flights stopped?
Yeah, they grounded a bunch of planes. So
and also, when you talk about, hey, what's going on, the first thing when we saw each other, hey, how's your weekend setting up? And I was going, boy, I'm just glad I'm not flying to Vegas or, no flights on my horizon here because I'm flying all over the place. And, this kind of thing is just going to stymie so many people. And yet, I'm just going, well, for my world, I can just watch the TV, go to the games. But, man, what a hassle this has become already today.
You don't have a theory on this?
It's probably China.
There
probably
he is.
China.
There's Jake.
You want to be
there
honest
you
about
are.
it? Yeah.
Uncle Howdy.
See, there hasn't been many
you are.
sports on for Jake, so he's been watching the Republican National Convention. So he's ready to roll with all these China stories.
China. Yeah.
Somebody texts me and goes, hey, watch Hulk Hogan right now.
I was watching.
I said, what are you talking about? He goes, turn it on. I go, watch. He goes, watch Hulk. I go, what do you mean? I go, and I turn it on, and Hulk Hogan's ripping his shirt off. What am I watching?
Now,
all right, then.
this is trivia. I don't even know the answer to this, but what is his real name? Did you?
In real life, Terry Bollea.
Is that it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought you might know it. That's incredible, by the way. Hey, that's incredible. You knew that.
That's stupid.
I've never heard him say it before.
It's Terry.
Because he's at the Republican National Convention up there speaking, and he was doing
Back
it.
up, Terry.
He said, well, I'm doing this as a normal citizen, so here's my real name.
Right.
Like, hey, whoa, I never heard that before.
He was not a
then he
normal
went back
citizen.
Then he went back to Hulk
Right.
Hogan.
He was not there was nothing normal about that.
What do you mean? The only thing that would have been better is if somebody runs up there and hits him with a chair, like right at the end of the stage.
That'd be great.
And then they take the microphone, or I don't know, something like that.
It should have been Dana White.
Yeah.
Dana White.
And Dana White was so there it is. I watched that too. No sports, but it was entertaining. I can tell you that.
Kid Rock.
Yeah, Kid Rock. It seemed.
Did you like that song?
It seemed that many people were confused about how to react to what was going on. Like they wanted to clap, but didn't know. They're like looking, almost kind of like when my dog hears a funny noise. It's like side to side.
It's like you drinking a new type of Dr. Pepper.
Well, on that note,
people may not know what we're talking about.
Earlier in the show, I debuted. I saw this at the store last night, and I grabbed a Dr. Pepper Zero coconut cream, and it's delicious. And
because you're a diet
Jake.
Dr. Pepper person, right?
Yeah, Jake's trying to get me not to be.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's a treat.
Okay.
Do I not deserve a morning treat?
I
do.
It's Friday.
Yes, yeah.
I wash it down with water.
There you go.
Thank you. And some oatmeal here in a little bit.
And the ratio is you got a lot more water than you do other things.
That's
so.
exactly right.
Balance.
I need it because I need to be hydrated.
It's all about balance.
I need to be hydrated.
The Jake influence.
Hey.
It's great to have you back, Jake.
Hey.
Especially with this positive attitude. I love your positive attitude.
Trying to keep Steven around for a long time.
Did you ever think anyone would say that to you?
No, not really.
The sentence that
I'm glad you're back.
I'm glad you're back with this positive attitude.
Well, it's been a long.
I just try to call it accurately. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I think
fair analysis.
I'm pretty positive. Yeah,
it is now.
Yeah,
I'm saying right now.
It wasn't before. That's what I mean. Like
10, 12 years ago, it's pretty.
I did not think I'd ever hear someone say that sentence. Like Jake and your positive attitude.
Well, you'd walk in here and you didn't know which version of Jake you're gonna get, and you better be careful.
Sometimes you didn't know if you're gonna get anything.
Yes,
get Jake
like
at
we
all.
were talking about yesterday.
Well, I always got the nice Jake. There's no doubt about that. You always were super nice, but this really positive attitude plays well.
I've kind of hitched my wagon to Steven, so I'm trying to be a.
What does that mean?
Yeah,
Mr. Positive, two Mr. Positives.
Yeah,
you're my guy.
We are hitched together.
Yeah, I mean, your wagon. I'm hitched to your wagon, buddy.
Yeah, we had a deep conversation, and so I told him, so you're not leaving again, right? And he goes, no. I go, okay, here's the deal. Here's when you can leave. When you shovel dirt on me. When I die, that's when you can leave. Okay, we're in it to the end now.
Yes, we are,
buddy.
We're locked.
Okay, I'm never leaving here. Probably. You know, my daughters are 15. Stan, you're past that point. I still have.
Did
years.
he just call me real old?
No.
No.
I'm calling myself. I'm looking at years.
He did that to
of
himself.
Tuition, and then college tuition, and then weddings. And so people ask me, how much longer are you going to do this? I go, talk to my daughters.
Because, you know.
Until they're 30, probably. So.
Richie and Chris are probably around your son's ages.
Yeah. I got 34. I got 27. I got.
He did that to himself.
Yeah. Hey, we wanted a girl.
Hey,
we got two.
You got two.
We're double blessed. That's all that matters.
Have you talked to them about one wedding?
One of them's not getting married,
right.
apparently. So, which is fine.
Well, a 15-year-old prediction, that's good.
Right,
but I mean, when the reality sets in.
Oh, let me tell you something. One of them will have a wedding that will probably equal 4 or 5. So,
yeah.
Surprisingly,
it'll
why I asked
rival
this.
a royal wedding.
Surprisingly, why I asked this is I was the ring bearer for a actual wedding where my aunts on my dad's sisters got married on the same day at the same wedding, and they're not twins.
Oh, wow.
But they all got along so well. They're future husbands, now husbands.
That's a good
But
savings.
they had two, my grandfather, I didn't understand all the reasons about the money. I just,
right. You're just
for
a ring
me,
bearer.
they lived in Louisiana, and so it was a long trip for our family. So it was really nice that we were able to go to two different persons' weddings and have this celebration at one time. I didn't think about the money aspect until just right now. You got twins, maybe get married at the same time. You know how much money that would save you?
Oh, I mean, there's just zero chance of doing
I don't want
that.
to talk about this on the air, but outside, I'll tell you, you'll kind of fall over once you hear how much money it costs to.
Rarely get them to go eat at the same place. They don't. I can promise you, they're not going to get married together.
Hey, you never know.
Right.
My younger brother and I were we had to be
Stephen doesn't
separated
understand.
with crowbars.
Wait until they're 25 together.
Yeah.
They may be so tight you can't
I
believe
hope
it.
so. You know, there are times, you know, that it's okay, but it's just a very volatile situation right now. I think it's their age.
Give it 10 years.
Welcome to 15-year-olds.
Oh, I'm getting a crash course, man. Let me tell you, I'm getting a crash course. But we're all going up to St. Joe, and that's one thing we do every year.
Yep.
Is we're going to St. Joe. We're staying at Stony Creek Hotel and Conference Center, and while Dad covers training camp, we try to have breakfast together. We go out and eat at our favorite places up in St. Joe. We do a lot of swimming, so this is like our bash. We got 2, and then we're gonna have vacation in Minnesota in 2 weeks. So we got 2 trips where they're gonna have to be together and they're gonna have to get along. And that's it.
To hear you talk about Stony Creek, and then when you're at the Big 12 tournament, you got your hotel. You know,
Right,
just,
the president. There's
that just
certain places I stay.
That rings in my ears because I've not had that issue because my in-laws live in Manhattan, but now it's the Bluemont Hotel.
Now you got your spot.
I think of you because I got my spot in Manhattan. I mean, it's the Bluemont Hotel right next to Aggieville, the perfect spot, the best hotel. And so I think of you all the time, or when you mention this, I go, I've never really been in this mode before. All these years, I've had my own apartment almost in my in-laws' home, welcoming all of our family there. Like you say, we all go. Can you imagine a K-State weekend where we all go, and then so many other families, like my parents from Wichita, meet us there. It's just the party place, the meeting center as we get over to the stadium and do all the fun things, tailgating or whatever. And now my life's changed completely, and now it's the Bluemont Hotel in Manhattan. So it's my Stephen St. John-ism there.
See, when you find someplace you like, you gotta keep going. You know, it's like home. It's your home away from home. We've got Stan Weber in studio. This studio is like Stan's home away from home.
Every Friday.
Got football. We got baseball. We got all kinds of good stuff to talk about between now and the rest of the show. We'll take a break. Back after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Welcome back to New Day with SSJ. Pete Sweeney's going to call in from up at camp around 7:30 and give us his thoughts on yesterday's practice. The weather's been real nice up there. I'm sure it'll change when I get up there, but it's been in the low 70s for practice, which sounds wonderful. And he did mention one of the things we talked to him about, the Chiefs continue to ramp up Xavier Worthy, and he's a frequent target. Now, there's not a lot of guys up there, the whole full roster not up there, but that has been a topic of discussion, Stan, because Andy Reid said, we're gonna ease him into this thing, and then Patrick Mahomes said, no, we're not easing anything. It's time to go. And then when we had Dieter and Sherm was laughing. He goes, "You guys don't understand. When Andy says easing in, Andy's definition of easing in is not everyone else's. They're still going to run his ass up there." And similar to what happened with Rashee Rice, if we all remember last year, in the first week of camp, he was vomiting on the field. Now, it looks like Xavier Worthy has avoided that, but there was concern because of the hamstring at OTAs, and he hasn't been able to do everything, but so far so good up there. You saw this kid up close. I don't know what the correct expectations should be for him, but Patrick Mahomes is working him a lot right now, and that's a good thing that he's out there on the field because he needs to be.
Yeah, the key thing is that the quarterback's reported with the rookies because it's just a small group of people. Not a lot of them are going to be on the Kansas City Chiefs roster at the end of the day. So just tapping their toe into it, learning, great opportunity for new players to learn and get opportunities and a lot of reps. But it's great that Patrick Mahomes is there because when you're getting the reps with him, these are live reps for the guys like Xavier Worthy. I think that thing, to me, what Andy Reid's focus was, if I heard him correctly, was that we don't have the normal number of receivers. So if you're looking at a passing drill or even the warm-ups, if you go to Arrowhead Stadium and see the Chiefs warming up before a game, you see the receivers lined up and they each take turns, it doesn't wear you out to go run your route. And then you get in the back of the line, jog back, get in the back of the line, and there's plenty of rest before you go do it again. In this point of the camp, that's not true. The line is no line. So I think that's what he said is we're not going to put Xavier Worthy and make him do every third rep or fourth rep on one side. Let's be smart about this. Make it more like if it's a normal situation. He doesn't need to run 50 routes when he should run only 10. And so they're going to treat him like a veteran. He is a veteran. They know that he's going to be on the roster. Those other guys need to work. But every pass thrown by Patrick Mahomes to Xavier Worthy is money in the bank. It's the savings account right there. What are expectations for him? To be a winning contributor to a Super Bowl champion level football team. What does that mean? Be available and have the confidence of Patrick Mahomes and have an instinct of what he wants to do with the ball. How many times did we see last year, Stephen, the ball bounce on the ground with what I'll say is the receiver's open and the ball bounces, and you can just tell by Patrick Mahomes' reaction is, if you would have gone 3 yards to the left, you would have been wide open. Why didn't you do that? Because he understands where the defense is. When you draw up routes, if you had a little flag football team, Stephen, and you drew up routes, I bet you would get something out, whatever pad or pencil or whatever you were using, I bet you'd tell the kid if he's going to run this route, you draw a straight line, and you say, this is called a post route. Go straight for a little while, and then a 45-degree angle to the post, the goal post, and that is a post route. Please run that route, okay? Isn't that how we all learn? The Chiefs don't do that. There's no drawing of straight lines. It's all reactionary to where the defenders are. The ball can be thrown, if you drew an arc, 15 yards of space, the ball could be thrown in on the same play, depending on where the defense is. Guess who understands that better than anybody in the world? Travis Kelce. What is Travis Kelce's route? Generally go in this area, don't get in the way of other players, and find the open gap, react to the defense. And Patrick Mahomes and he are thinking on the same page and catching the ball all over the place. Andy Reid's brilliant. He is just letting these guys play with feel. But you know how hard it is if you don't have that feel? Go watch the replays of last year. How many times did a ball hit the grass? Was it because Patrick Mahomes threw a bad ball and it came out wobbling and, like it was 1950 in the mud? No. He threw an accurate spiral, and the receiver wasn't there. Whose fault do you think that was? Are you looking back at 15?
No.
No. So think about the opportunity right now for Xavier Worthy to get closer to being on the same page with Patrick Mahomes. Because of everybody up there at practice, how many people does it really matter that Patrick Mahomes gets on the same page with? And he's a brilliant guy, and so is Andy Reid. So guess what? When they go back and grab some lunch, don't you think Patrick Mahomes might go over and tell him a few hints? When there's veterans and everyone around, there's so much activity going on. Patrick Mahomes needs to lead the whole team. Andy Reid needs to coach the whole team. Right now, they know, Stephen, of the guys working, I bet you they can nail how many of them are going to be on the final roster. What they one or two variables.
Right.
So they'll be respectful to everybody, eyes wide open to give everyone a chance. Like, Phillip Brooks is a K-State player who's up there getting a chance to work with the Chiefs. This is awesome for him as a kid growing up here to wear a Chief. How much would we pay to wear a Chiefs uniform and get a chance to have these few days? But really, the main focus right now is Wiley, Xavier Worthy, get on the same page with Patrick right now. Because this is your chance. Because once the veterans come in, you're going to be a part of the line. You're going to be one of 10 rather than one of one like they are right now. So I don't underestimate this time. I think this is really important.
We'll talk to Pete Sweeney and find out what else he's seen that has stood out the first couple of days of training camp. We've got Stan Weber in studio. We'll be right back after this on WHB.